The big,
Good morning, everyone.
all right, let's call this meeting today, let's call the meeting today of special, why is it a special court commission?
Because,
It's not a regularly scheduled?
correct,
Okay, we had to cancel the previous meetings due to weather and other safety concerns, but today is Tuesday, January the 30th. It is 10:01. Call the meeting to order. Have we got people out there that need to talk to us?
oh, we have Matt Glazes online and that is it.
Give the public a moment if they need to comment. With that being said, then we'll move on to the consent agenda, approve the minutes. And receive harbor master inspection report. Mike has moved that we accept the consent agenda. Robert Knox, second that, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no nays, motion carries. Let's go on to the financials reports. Got a sheriff report, account agent report, payment report, revenue expenditure report, balance sheet, property and tax, profit and cash loss report. Ms. Brittany, welcome. Go ahead. I'll catch up here in a second.
The only thing I do want to say is on the equalizer. I know that it's not showing November and December, but we did just get those payments in, so it will show on January's.
Okay. Thank you.
And on Elena, I just, for my curiosity, I went back and looked at the last 3 months. Two, and compared the tariff, our tariffs we got then with what we got now, and actually, we're quite a bit ahead of where we were this time last year.
No real activity there, then let's move on to the account agent report. The name report. Okay, good.
A couple of things that I'll note that I looked at right before the meeting, Encore Dredging has paid. Paid on the 12th. And Leah Wiley has paid. Paid a couple days.
Well, were they actually late on their payment?
Yes, and I think we're talking to them about, I don't know if there was something changed with their accounting system that. We're kind of letting them know they've got to get back on a regular basis.
Send them a bill for the 10% that they owe. They're paying the payments, it's in their lease. 10 days, the 10th. The month.
Mr. Rudelock, what's the status on the Cox
We just got the third and the fourth order back about a week ago. We started trying to figure out how to dispose of it, sell it, whatever. I'm assuming we'll sell it through that. What is it, Brittany? Texas Gov deals.
You know, it's just rapidly accelerating. Now, hopefully we can get quote unquote $4,500 out of it, plus the time it's gonna take us to we'll be north of $6,000 when this happens. We need a motion to authorize you and Joe to get this thing moved and sold. Ms. Jody?
I mean, I don't think we're spending that kind of money. Yeah, I can authorize that.
All right. Is it just slowly climbing from 2,000 to, you know, here we're at 45, next month will be 48, 49. All right. Move on to the payment report.
Two things, harbor refuge floodlights. Would have sucked, would have gone down by now, but. Those have been installed, Jody, yet?
No, I don't think the only ones I believe that were installed, there was a couple of them that weren't working that they went in there and fixed.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, AEP has not done yet.
Yes, we could probe them a little bit, see why.
I mean, I've been after them and I think they're behind on a lot of things. We've got several street lights we put in months ago that still haven't been done.
Yeah, mine's out, by the way. I had mine to the list.
I think it's on the list.
I thought I would have asked by now. Mr. Councilman, get my light fixed.
Give me a ring and let me know and I'll get on.
I'm teasing you.
That 106 South Commerce Main, that's the entire building, the hallways, the lights and stuff like that, Jim? 502,
That's
very
it.
bottom one, electrical.
Those are the two new meters, I think, that you consolidated for the nautical landing building.
Oh,
I think
That reflects the newest.
Yeah, I mean, it's-
you know what we did, we just, I think was two, because that building doesn't.
Yeah, no, because you had like 6 meters and then you consolidated to 2, but it should be for the whole building for nautical landing.
Well, I'm just wondering if we're double dipping here because we have the tenants paying.
Uh-huh.
And so it's hard for me to understand why we're $500. We're the most expensive except for the harbor. I'm sorry?
Look into the rent.
These. They're not paying
I think we're covered on
AP.
that.
Dexa, I guess.
I think.
We're getting help on
I
that.
think we're getting enough help to pay for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good enough.
Yes.
Fire protection.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's left over still.
That was the reason
No, well, because actually, I think we are due for a refund from AEP because they actually messed up on the usage on the bill. So they should be sending us a check for the electricity because whatever reason, when we reconciled that utility bill, they were showing usage for the meters that you had turned off.
2 meters that weren't even there.
Yeah.
You got like several bills. The meters weren't even.
I just didn't want to be double dipping. We're getting electrical.
Not really reflecting, but
That's okay.
yeah.
It'll take a little while.
Yeah.
Because y'all pulled out Spire Tech and something, Edward Jones. All of a sudden, we're down here at the bottom with 500 and just didn't.
Yeah, so this is November, so in December's bill, it should reflect 0 for the Edward Jones and the Spear Tech. And then they are gonna give us a refund, so at some point, we're actually gonna get a refund for those as well.
Yeah.
We just haven't gotten it yet.
It seemed like we were double dipping or double charging there
AEP.
got my attention. All right.
The other thing is the water sewer bill continues to die. It's 20 times my home. 20 times.
You got a little bitty house. We got
Yeah,
a big
right.
area.
I water everything all the time.
Well, the water bill too, that'll go down next month as well. I double checked it and the December's is actually back to normal.
Oh, good.
So this is November's, so.
Does your usage ever change?
Oh, yeah, it's up and down.
Really?
But it's $2,000 last month, that's 3,000. Over the years, probably.
Okay.
I don't know if it's been done. I never
Move on
did.
to the revenue and expenditure report. Anything of note there, Ms. Brittany?
No, so the fiscal year has been closed for 22-23, so everything is accurate now.
Well, we're looking good budget wise. Move on to the balance sheet. We've taken out already for February's bond payment or not?
That is going to reflect on January, because I know that AP, he's paying it this week.
Okay. The fee change to our, just our bottom line.
We're generating good cash. We're generating good cash.
Yeah, well, that's what I say, we're doing good with the numbered revenue, the budget wise. Move on then to the profit and loss. There's a substantial increase in the December harbor refuge expenses. We went from 7,000 to 14,000. You remember why, Jim?
We can.
It's like it's
It's.
R&M infrastructure.
Spend some money down there.
Is that some kind of, I need some of the engineering?
There's a $70,000 R&M infrastructure.
I have to look, I mean, it's a number, so it could be.
No, I think it's,
Was it urban?
I think, I could be wrong, but I'm going to say it's that culvert replacement.
Engineering.
We just had a $10,000 drop from November to December from 42,000 to 33,000. Kind of. Keep that in mind.
Big urban,
It has something to do with that culvert replacement from urban engineering.
Okay. No further comments. We'll move on and show you. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
On then to status report. Got several projects there. Agenda item A is renovation nautical landings marina breakwater.
okay, breakwater, I don't know, Matt, have you got any latest updates? We're still waiting on them to give us approval to move.
Jody,
Huh?
can you hear me?
No.
Yes. Can you hear him? Okay.
You got her.
Hey,
Speak up.
It's up.
okay, hey, I responded, they add more comments on the section 7. I just sent the response back today. Asking about how many times the pile, how fast we can install the piling or something like that.
Okay. Any clue on how, we're looking another month to get responses back from them? Ken?
I have no idea.
It seems like they ask questions, we respond. And that takes a month and they ask more questions and I respond. It's just. Okay.
That's correct.
Do we have any influence for somebody up there, Parks and Wildlife? Representative or somebody? We're looking at nearly 4 years, 3.5 years on this project. The money's been allocated and gifted and awarded, and now they won't turn it loose.
And I've sent emails to our local representatives, but. Their mercy to get it complete, and I think actually it's with US, it's not real necessarily with Parks and Wildlife, it's one of the agencies, is that right, Matt?
It's U.S. Fish and Wildlife, yes.
Parks and Wildlife? Okay. The US Fish or all those guys, they're not holding anything up, it's just Parks and Wildlife.
No, it's at U.S. Fish and Wildlife. They're reviewing the section 7, so we'll see.
Yes, that.
It is Fish and Wildlife.
Notoriously take forever.
So it is Fish and Wildlife.
US Fish and Wildlife is kind of,
We need to get our representative lean on them a little bit for years. They've changed a lot of personnel over the years. We've had to get a new person there. We start all over again. You know, we've gotten the funds. That's part of the problem we've got at the harbor, at the marina. You know, we can't get it rented at least because, you know, it needs a breakwire. Enough beating on that one. Let's go to the next one. Agenda item B. CDBG MIT Coastal Resilience Project.
in your packet, there is a copy of the latest monthly progress report. We don't. Yeah, the Corps of Engineers. Should be mid-February. This was from Tom at Mount McDonald. Our environmental sub is working towards finalizing the permit application. They expect to begin engaging with the Corps end of the month, January or early February, and try for a JEM meeting by mid-February.
Didn't Matt and Mount McDonald submit some added paperwork to get clearance so we could move forward on this?
No, this is where we're at. I mean, they're finalizing the permit application. And they had some preliminary meetings with the Corps and a few people December. And so they're now using that information, they're finalizing the application. And it sounds like they're planning on getting a joint meeting with the Corps. And then once it's submitted, then we're looking realistically a year before we get close to move forward.
I guess I just get anxious because this thing is moving, all of these things are moving so incredibly slow.
It
They're
does.
holding their funding. I'm sure Matt and Mount McDonald don't get their money until this happens, but somebody needs to be leaning on.
That's 3 years from time the project kickoff.
Yeah,
Huh?
I've had several birthdays since this started. Move on to the restore project, agenda item C.
Okay. Let's see, in your packet, I've got some information here. There's a copy of the agenda, kickoff meeting agenda that we had on January 23rd. And also, see what I got in here. There's what they sent me, and that's what they sent me for setting up the post award meeting. So I had a post award kickoff meeting with GLO on Tuesday, January 23rd. Myself and Griffith. Him as a local resident and this sort of work for the GLO people. He assisted with editing the application a couple of years ago for TCQ guidance. It's our intention that she will prepare the technical specifications for demolition. This application process has been underway for over 6 years, and as you can imagine, many players have changed in size, city and GLO. Our first step is to review the intention of contracting with him for this work and verify with the current GLO team that all this meets all the particular regulations of the grant before moving forward. And the second step is preparing the work plan to establish a detailed scope and milestone. There's a lot of grant administration duties associated with this grant. Preliminary estimates should have plenty of funds available to remove these barges. I may consider going out for RFPs for grant administration services if it continues to look like we would have adequate funds to pay for that. Otherwise, it'll fall on city staff. We're looking for a grant CIP coordinator, but have had no luck finding a qualified applicant yet. Although I did get one applicant that looks promising this past week. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at with that. It is moving forward. I've got lots of monthly reports to keep going, submit on from this point forward. Like I said, our next step is Kim's looking closely at everything and meeting with the current GLO staff to review her contract and everything and make sure all that's good before moving forward.
Oh, you know, it's in this the frustration, again, this is over 6 years in the making. And we keep meeting month and month and month again, and nothing seems to move forward. We need a hammer somewhere, state representative, federal, something.
They can do so much, but
Yeah.
they're aware of it. Yeah, and actually, I mean, right now, everything's done. It's in our ballpark, but we certainly don't want to move forward until we make sure we're all.
Sure, and if,
So I don't want to go, 2 years down the road and they say, wait, that wasn't right, and we're in trouble.
if Ms. Griffith, bring something, some leverage, and we certainly ought to exploit it as much as possible. Let's move on then. Agenda item D.
On the Harbor Refuge Railroad culvert replacement, there's been no new developments regarding the person funding the project. Learned, that Luis Rodriguez retired on December 31st. The new division manager's name is Joseph Weber. Looking back, on my previous information, January 10th, again, funding of this project was included in our application to utilize our allotment of round 2 CDBG mitigation funds. We anticipate hearing back from GLO sometime in March. If approved, we will engage Mont McDonald to prepare design and construction documents to bid the project out sometime, hopefully in fourth quarter 2024. Update as far as 1/23/24. We had a meeting with GLO on Monday, January 22nd, review a small list of RFI questions they had about our application. In attendance were myself, our engineering team, Mont McDonald and Urban Engineering, and KSBR, our grant administrator. It seems that most of the RFIs were easily resolved, and many, in fact, had already been included in the application. We just need to point out where information was in our response to the RFI. I asked GLO for a realistic time frame before we would have an executed contract for these CDBG MIT funds. Sounds like we're looking at a minimum 6 months. Although this round 2 funding is not involved in the issues that GLO is having with the federal government on the round 2 competition funding, which we did not receive, round 2 funds may be delayed until they get the round 1 funds all worked out. So that's kind of the wild card. We don't know. She said under the best case scenario, we're looking probably 6 months, but it could be longer.
Well, if Heller is not willing to come to the table, we don't have the funding for it, and it's pretty much a standstill. And I've hammered on it several times today. We're over here looking for grant money, and we've already seen some of these stuff. Some of these grants are out there 3 years and 6 years. Are we willing to wait 6 years to do that railroad as long as Heller is satisfied? I guess they're not willing to compromise or come to the table.
I mean, that's my instruction from council at this point. We're waiting on the grant.
I would reach out to this Joseph Weber and see,
Yeah, I mean,
see if he understands. Hey,
I did, and in fact, that's how I found out that he was in charge. I sent them an update on where we were after my meeting, and I invited him next time he's in Fort Lavaca to come down and we'll meet with him one-on-one. He's just getting his feet wet right now.
they are our probably major or only tenant that uses that railroad spur, but it does keep us from moving forward. We I don't know that we lost, but we did not receive the project that has been announced from Victoria. I don't know that we were even considered for that. We just had some shortcomings out there that we need to address.
Did it hold up in the rain? Did it wash out anymore in the rain? We haven't been, okay.
So we're getting ready, so that the season that just passed, how did they manage their ammonium phosphate?
I mean,
Manufacturing, did they do it in Corpus and truck it here, or?
I don't know. I mean, everything's been rough.
Did you say I can see the trucks come here and?
Seen it, John, but I know that's what it was.
But that needs to be checked, because once they come on the property with their trucks, they owe us tariffs for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tier, the barge tariffs.
I think if they're
Anything that crosses the docks or crosses into the property line. Yeah, I was just Paris. I don't want to sit here and argue about it, but that's the facts.
That's something.
When it leaves, they're catching it.
Yeah.
I mean, cause that stuff's going in this and then that's.
And we don't monitor the going out stuff. I guess, I mean, anyway, we need to get our tariffs, secondly, just figure out if they actually are doing it. This puts us into 2025. For the earliest possible time we get the railroad fixed. So they're gonna go through another season on that. I just would like to be kind of kept in the loop with what they're doing.
I know they're doing it. Jeff Hawley told me that's what their plan was because they have a facility in Brownsville. Having to blend, and all that blend in Corpus.
But it comes back here to be sold and shipped and okay.
Somehow their business needs to be reflected in our tariff
Absolutely.
collections, and their business has probably been doing this.
Every single.
Like I said, I mean, the barge tariffs have increased.
Right.
Or they're higher.
Just there, every single port charges for things coming in the port. They're bringing it by truck
Right.
and by barge. They're making a difference. They get to pay tariffs on that.
It's incoming freight across our docks and whether it's the wheelbarrow.
Well, we don't, there's nothing in our rate, I mean, our rate schedule has barges and
Rail.
rail, that's it.
Wow, that's a huge hole.
I know
Yeah,
they're building a new truck. Facility down
Here.
there. Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, I guarantee you that every other tariff charging port charges for things comes into their port. They don't care how it comes in, barge.
We can look at that, but I mean, I can't charge without it being in the tariff.
Be done. I mean, that's
Right. Well, it's on our to-do list now.
that we'll talk about again next time.
It's a huge hole that we need to
Well, it's not a
address.
lot of money. It's just to maintain the principle of the thing, but
Well, it's not the principle, it's the revenue stream that we lose on that tariff.
If they're making up barge revenue with truck revenue,
yes.
it should be reflected in tariff.
The rail revenue wasn't much,
Oh,
and so,
it's not.
I mean, it would be comparable, I would assume.
We just want to capture it. Yes, it's actually more than that, I think.
I don't remember.
It's 150. It's 150 tons per railroad car, and it's about 6. Well, I don't have my numbers right, but it's more. I thought it's more than that. So it'd be 20 or 30 truckloads coming in per train.
You and Raymond study that, bring
Oh,
it.
Raymond knows
Next
it.
time,
See, Raymond knows it.
yeah, next time y'all come in, let's move on into agenda item
It's really
5.
one of that's is a little bit embarrassing that we don't have that hole covered with tariff collections. That's it.
Should have it. It's there.
Agenda item 5, status report on special projects.
Um,
Item A, status report on voluntary restoration.
And voluntary restoration, project 2, as previously reported, we have applied to use funds from our CDBG mitigation round 2 allocation to fund the project. There really is no new information report. We hope to hear back from GLO regarding our application in March. This is the project that Urban Engineering will be doing once we get the funding. Okay. Then on the GLO Kepler grant, Harbor Refuge, January 4th, Jim and I met with Abigail Richardson and Kevin Frenzel with the General Land Office to kick off the Kepler, which stands for Coastal Erosion Planning and Response Act grant we received for engineering for the shoreline protection projects at the Harbor Refuge. East shoreline of the landfill site, east shoreline of the peninsula, which is tract 11, and the shoreline south of the mitigation area. The first step is to receive and execute the contract between the city and the state of Texas for this grant. Ms. Richardson is the GLO project manager for this grant, and she will begin working on the contract language. Step following this will be to execute an engineering agreement with Mont McDonald for these projects. The total funds required are $688,412. $800 is Kepler funds and $200,000 are funds granted from the Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust, and 75,200 is from city's general fund. By way of an update, I learned last week that the coastal division of Mont McDonald is splitting off of Mont McDonald. So we have a choice whether we continue with the split off of Mont McDonald for the engineering, or allow GLO to just go pick another approved firm. I'm meeting with Mont McDonald to kind of get their input, and I'm meeting again with GLO to answer any questions that come out of that meeting with Mont McDonald. But if we can stick with, the guys have been working on this project, they would be a new firm. It's not clear is if that in itself is okay from GLO, which it sounded like it was, without going through an RFP process and all that stuff. But if I do that, then the administration of the grant will fall on the city. If go back and let because remember, this project was approved and included on the Coastal Resiliency Master Plan. So as such, GLO will take the ball and run with it. We don't have to really be involved that much. But it has to do that. It has to be one of their approved engineers, which now obviously this new engineering firm that's coming off of Mont McDonald would not be. Quite honestly, the administration involved in an engineering project really isn't that big of a deal. Now, if it's a construction project, I wouldn't even consider it. But I thought, well, I'm going to talk to Mont McDonald first, or Joshua Carter, and just get their input, their thoughts, and talking up GLO and just determine which is the most advantageous for us to go. This is just for the engineering. Again, it's probably at least another cycle, if not two, down the road before we get funding to actually construct. So, by that time, this new firm could be approved, or make any difference. And if they weren't, then it's no big deal to then just go to another engineering firm actually for the construction phase.
The advantages, this group, the spinoff group, has already been working on this project.
Yeah.
But they are not an approved vendor with GLO.
Correct.
Well, they need to get on board and get their application done.
They can't. I mean, the earliest they can do it would be like 2020, late 2025.
Then they're not players, and we gotta stay with Mont McDonald and get a new bunch of engineers.
They don't have the skill set. Yeah, their skill set's gone.
Split off, they don't have anybody can do it.
One of those 5-year delays.
This was somebody totally new. I wanted to give them, and actually, GLO is telling me they have no preference one way or another. So, I mean, either way it's fine with them. So in reality, the only difference is that from my standpoint anyway, that if we want to stick with the guys that have been working on it, then it is going to create some additional work with that. If we just tell GLO, sorry, just go find somebody else and just go forth and do good.
That's what I'm saying. Where were you on this, Ray? Weren't you part of this coastal resiliency? Did you not meet with them, or you got left out of the loop?
I didn't make the meeting.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. I didn't see your name on here.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, and to back up, Jim did ask me about the coastal resiliency project, that Mont McDonald's doing. It does affect that, but it does. And what it is, again, like I said, Mont McDonald proper will no longer have coastal engineering. But since that coastal resiliency project, that $13.5 million project is already under contract, Mont McDonald will be subbing this new firm to complete the course. But that's not an option in this other one because we don't have them under contract for this yet. So, anyway, that's kind of where we're at.
think that's what my mom used to call, you just ain't gonna win.
Well, remember
And I mean,
22?
and that, I mean, that is a struggle that we see, and particularly with these projects that do take a long time. Is, you know, people are moving from firm to firm and firm and,
Yeah.
you know, even if it wasn't, you know, the whole division, oftentimes the people we were working with, they go off and go someplace else and we're left with different people. Well, in this case, we're not left with anything. They're going, you know, we can either follow them or just start over.
You mentioned that you might consider doing some of the work yourself. I would recommend we don't do that. You already.
No, and that's not what I want to do. That's why I was supposed to meet with them Friday, but then they had to cancel. I'm meeting with them tomorrow to just, again, listen, what would be involved. And I'll get back with GLO. If it's not a big deal, and I think there is some advantage to sticking with the guys that have been doing this, then I will do that. But if in fact it's going to be more work than I want to get involved with at this time, I don't have any problem telling Gina Lowe just start over. And if it was a construction project, wouldn't even be a question. But an engineering project, honestly, I don't think there's going to be that much to it. But that's what I want to find out.
Stay away from it.
Yeah.
Agenda items, C is, MBMT grant project downtown,
Yes.
Matagorda Mitigation Trust.
I am very happy to report that we did, in fact, we were approved for our application to Matagorda Bay Mitigation Trust, Downtown Waterfront Public Access Improvement Grant. I have received the draft contract, council agenda in February for approval. So actually also on the agenda, I've got a task order from Urban Engineering to begin to work on that project. But one of the first things that we'll need to do is do a little bit of design work and put together the permit application to the Corps, because there is bulkhead and fishing dock will require a permit. So once that gets submitted, then I can continue to work on the design project. We'll be able to bid it out realistically a year to get something. We did get that.
What's the size of that project?
The entire project was estimated 700,000, and we're getting 400,000.
Okay, that's good.
All right, let's move on to agenda item 6, receive Harbor Master's report of operation for motion development activities, and go ahead, John.
City Hall, Christie, we're still dealing with that. Figure out what we can do, on that track in City Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get them to take the whole wing. Just shot for 180 feet. So I think it was like $1,600 a month. So we're still dealing with that. The Federation, I talked to them a few days ago. They have not, they're really close to getting their anything in place. I think she had told me that we're supposed to be filing, which is going to be Matagorda Bay Cooperative. Nautical Landings Building, we're going to have to get a new for Allied Universal. We got the letter from them.
Yeah, that's the one they approved last month.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, and then we just have the language today.
Nautical Landings, Marina, abandoned boat. Pulling it to the refuge harbor, pulling it out on the bank and disposing of it at some point. Verizon Environmental, they've been on site 7 times since the last EC meeting. They were down there this morning. Matter of fact, they were coming in here with a boat. I don't know what's going on with that. But they were bringing a boat in there, so. And let's see, the Cox vote, of course, we had received, the third and the third letter, which has been lost for 2 months or 3 months, and we sent the fourth letter, they both came back the same day. So, we'll proceed with that. As far as
Got them back signed or rejected or what?
I got.
Yeah, but I thought the family was supposed to be addressing all this.
No. Yeah. You either gotta get the receipt, signed, or the
But the letter.
Four letters.
Okay.
Okay, Smith Harbor, we just talked about that. Project, Harbor Refuge. Talked about the Kemper Grant project, Alcoa was mulching. They came in and mulched, well, let me back up.
Apple, yeah.
We had it all mulched by, Republic. Alcoa came in and picked all the mulch up, and all they got done with that.
Are those roads, like with all this rain we've had, those trucks coming?
They're not bad, really not. That road's, we spent all that money on that road, we put like 8 of 2 inches. It's filled up, it can use, somebody went down there and did some maintaining, I don't know who did it. But it.
Looks
I
better.
don't think they knew what they were doing. I'm not sure who did it. Suspects, but anyway. Yeah, the mulch is gone, all the mulch is gone. Of course, we haven't been hauling the material in there, LCI has been. There hasn't been anything brought in the last few weeks because it is super wet. I was down there yesterday, stuck. So Encore's got all the equipment out. I know, I had talked to them.
All this stuff on track 11 is now gone.
Except the trash that needs to be hauled on. Stuff that they don't plan on using or moving. Which,
Are they gonna haul that off or is that on
somebody coming in,
axes? Someone will.
yes.
All right.
Let's see, of course, the railroad, we talked about the, railroad, culverts. And I guess Encore, they're still in the process of trying to purchase that bridge pipe. I hadn't talked to them in the last 4 or 5 days, so I don't know if they have. In any case, that's what's going on with that. Of course, they're spraying. We weren't gonna do anything until we get everybody out of it.
My understanding is that Alcoa just extended their life another 5 years. They're gonna continue to need the mulch that area out there.
Sure. Matter of fact, it's pretty amazing. Kevin Frankie with Rexco told me they completed hauling all the mulch out of there. A week ago this past Sunday before all the rain. And it's pretty amazing how much stuff is already hauled back out there, as far as brush wise.
Yeah.
It'll get serious because spring is coming.
The other thing is Alcoa is seriously negotiating selling that property. And I hope that happens.
Well,
It would take care of a lot of problems. Well, it's on the water, man, and it's got
no,
large access, so.
somebody's gonna do it.
Agenda item F, to-do list, Raymond Butler.
Hey, well, at the end of our last meeting, I'll try to update what we're carrying. You see them there. One of them that was on my mind was the core permit for the Harbor of Refuge bulkhead. We weren't sure if it was renewed with the Corps or not.
I mean, as you recall, and Matt, you correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding was, gosh, who's the guy that works on that for us? Out of Victoria. Fisher, that, that it was not renewed.
Eddie Fisher. No.
Yeah, and he was trying to, but he had explained that at the time we were ready to do something, it wouldn't be that big a deal to do it, maybe even under a nationwide or something. I don't remember the details, but he had tried and submitted things to the Corps to get it renewed, but it never went anywhere. Do you remember any of that, Matt? Eddie Fisher, yeah.
No, I don't recall having specific discussions, other than I remember that it expired.
Yeah, and I know, but I guess that he just had a conversation with me, but I'll get back with him and see, but I know it was not renewed. And I think he was having some issues with the core. And again, my understanding was he said that basic core was just saying that it sounded like they wanted to wait until we had a project. Something that they weren't interested in just giving a blanket permit without having something.
We've got the shore remediation restoration project, and we've got a bulkhead coming. We need that permit.
I don't know that we don't have a bulkhead.
Sure we do.
Fair.
Sure we do.
We don't have any funding for a bulkhead. I mean, we're not, I don't know.
So we're still gonna hang on to this. We don't know if that permit's valid or we can get
It is not valid. I can tell you that it's not valid.
We don't know if they're gonna extend it or.
Right.
It means when we get ready for them
We
sign,
need
they
to
can
be
build
doing
it.
the legwork on it. It's not.
I'll give him a call and get an update on.
Okay. Is there anything else on the first 8 items that, I went down and looked at the Narvaez construction. The only thing I saw was that there's a brick wall, a block wall up there. I don't know if they got tiebacks in it, but that's the only thing I saw of any concern. But I did get the plans and send them to y'all. Is there anything else that? Are we okay on the first 8? Is anything need to be coming off of this thing?
You found anything out about the grease trap? Right.
That was Jim.
We turned all that over to Derek. I don't know, it's Scully's.
Yeah.
I'll get an update on that. I haven't heard anything.
I thought the guys were coming. Gonna run their cameras all the way up in there.
Yeah, no, we already
They did all that.
I know.
I mean, it was, that's substance. I know I had it.
But the question is, did they find anything?
I'll just have to check on the update.
So that one needs to be just get them finalize that.
Were you stretching or were you wanting to be recognized, Jim?
No.
Mr. Ward.
No, I don't-
Board.
Okay, all right, all right.
I haven't, I can tell you this, that number 5, I have not sampled that. There's been so much water running out of there, I forgot to let it kind of dry where I can get a good sample. Representative sample. More what we're looking
We'll just hang on to that one. What about the cash balance deal? Did we do that?
We had not done that because we.
Want to?
For bond payment.
Okay.
I guess the real question is what kind of cash balance do we need to maintain? Right now it's about 50-50 between cash and lodging. 46.
I mean, we had talked about that, I talked about that with Brittany a couple months ago, and so that we.
You want to keep this on the list to remind us or not? Okay.
I mean, we can look at what we've got after we make the bond payment, next month.
Okay, we've already talked about the breakwater project. We know what's going on there. I can leave it on or take it off. The dredge pipe still blocking number, and I know we're working with Encore to purchase that.
I mean, whether we've gotten a demand letter to pay us. We notified them they're supposed to pay us for that towards there.
Again, the issue is we don't have. Encore has not told us that it's hurting them and we're getting full payment for these. So I don't have any claim.
You're the owner of the property. It's blocking our access.
Yeah, but.
Owner of the property.
But Encore is leasing it. I mean, I talked to Emery, we have to figure out a way to deal with that. I mean, what to charge, or what it would be. we're getting full compensation for that lease. Now, if Encore would come back and say it's hindering our access, we need a discount, then we have damages, we can go say, you know.
Can we make a call to Orion, see if they want it?
I thought this was the. Wait, let me back up. Which one are we talking? No, this is for the pipe on track 11, right?
Right?
Okay, I thought that's what they were looking at, was looking to buy it, right?
Yeah,
Still talking to them.
It's in process now.
Let's just leave it on there.
I think we've actually approved this from the, go after it. I think we had a vote on that last time. I don't, but I don't understand. Well,
we did.
where's the money? Where's the money?
Well, that's. and Joe-
I don't want to sit here and argue about it. I just,
I mean,
we
that's-
did charge for it twice.
what do you mean twice?
Well, Encore.
It's blocking our access as owners. It's in our water. And it's not owned by Encore.
I'll have Anne Marie give a legal opinion.
Okay, it's on the list. We'll check it the next time. And today I got 7 new items. We're gonna check on the AEP refund of electricity, get political help on the delinquent response from Fish and Wildlife Service. We need a hammer to get the restore grant fund moving, a grant writer. The railroad covered a waiting grant, potential delay, discuss with Helen, then make sure that Joseph Weber knows what's going on, could be delayed. Verify that incoming trucks are paying tariffs, resolve the issue with the new, with getting a new engineering firm where Mott McDonald is no longer viable for a Harbor of Refuge CDBG grant. That's it. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you. Move on then to agenda item 7. It's to discuss new lease agreement with Allied Universal, which is nautical buildings. Renter, what's that, C or 6 or something like that? I don't quite remember the number on it.
20 and 1 out.
Yeah, it's my understanding that these are the figures that the Port Commission voted on at the last meeting. And so I just put it into the lease document for approval. This needs to be the agenda for council. And the termination, oh yeah, well, we still need to, what things weren't approved the last meeting was the term, how long was this gonna be? I think, I don't know, getting valid, I mean, prior, I think it was a 2-year lease. I believe.
I think so.
So if we wanted.
We had a 2 and 2 with them, I believe.
Yeah, they're on the
It
other.
was a 2 and 2, I might have been a 2 and 1. Yeah,
2 and 1.
but so what, yeah, what, I
2 and
think
1,
they
okay.
might be open to whatever one.
The only question I've got is, we're going, technically, it's the new year, 2024. Have we been checking on our light, on the cost of our wattage? Because that's one thing, mine has gone up substantially.
Yes, I did that when we did all this work.
Okay, you adjusted for the new year price increase.
Our bill changed from, I think it changed sometime during 2023, but it had not changed. That's not, we had looked at that. It was still.
I then personally don't have a problem with the 2 and 1. I was thinking it was 2 and 2, but when I have a problem with 2 and 1, I don't know about.
But that, I go back to my favorite complaints. Why do we give them an option? Of what value is it to us as a city? As a landlord, it is no value.
It gives the company a planning ability, future foresight.
They can negotiate for that, but right now it's a freebie that we throw in.
You asked me.
I'm sorry. As a business person, I wouldn't do that,
Comments?
but that's my favorite.
As it is.
But
Sorry, sir.
I'm okay with it as it is.
Second. Robert? Bugs. All right, in that case, let's, I move for a motion.
Motion
James, what is your motion, sir?
approve it as it is.
Approve the lease presented to Yeah. Two and one was discussion.
2 and 1.
2 and 1 was discussion.
Motion's made. I'll second it.
We have a second. Mr. Butler,
Haven't we already done this once? Last
No.
meeting?
all in favor, say
I
aye.
don't think so.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No,
Nay from Mike.
just for a point. Hey. Just for.
Well, yeah, no, you're entitled to. We want openness and honesty here, so that's good. Move on then to lease agreement with Prestige Oyster, agenda item 8.
Okay, this one, yeah, this is for track 10. So according to Valbridge's appraisal report, you should expect an annual rental rate of $50,000 for track 10 of City Harbor, being 480 linear feet of dock. There's been a 1.43% index in MCI since the report was issued in May, which would bring this amount to $20,287, $3.52 per linear foot per month of dock. Now, currently, Prestige leases only 330 feet of the total 480 linear feet, $1,213.66 per month, or $3.68 per linear foot per month, for an annual rate of $14,563.92. Now, I think some of this was reviewed. Well, I don't know if this was looked at the meeting I was missing or not, so I'll just continue. If the new lease will be for the entire 475.8 linear feet of track 10, then the proposal is $1,690.50 per month, or $20,286 annually. $3.53 per linear foot. If we are agreeable to again leasing only 330 linear feet of track 10, then I would propose a target annual revenue of at least 15,000, since it may be difficult to find a lesser for just the last 150 feet. For 300, this would equate to $1,250 per month, or $3.78 linear feet per month. Lease will include language to finance that increase on October 1st of each year of the lease term. Term length, the current lease was for 2 years with a single 3-year option. So I think there's been discussion as far as, just leasing, only agreeing to lease the entire 330 feet. Jim, you approached Prestige with that?
They were
And
gonna
they
go
were-
back and look at. He hadn't got back and did it.
It doesn't make any sense to essentially deadhead off our part of our,
Yeah, I don't know why it was.
I agree.
or just lease the whole thing. You see,
I
here's
think so.
Yeah,
lease.
we don't know how to.
Yeah, it's just the time they're glad to get it. We were glad to get it.
Can we have that discussion with them? We really want at least the whole piece.
No. Discussion is not discussion. Here's the rules.
Yeah, I mean, we got a piece down here that they really don't want to pay for, but I guess is they probably using it.
The overall deal that blocks it.
I mean,
I mean-
there's a new lease, the new lease would be for the entire track 10
Good.
at $690.
I'll vote for that.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it and then see what kind of response we get.
They ain't got no place else to go.
I know. And I don't know how the occupancy was going down there, but I've never seen this many oyster boats here.
Yeah.
They were hunting places to tie up.
My question at the end, I have never seen so many.
Well, it was open near the bridge and across the bridge. It's now closed, dead, probably 3 years now. So they won't be back there. My understanding, they're waiting till the season opens again. That's the reason they're there.
Yeah, they're,
Jim, did you ask them that? Did you hear that they were waiting there for the season to open?
Well, I don't, pretty much. I don't think they really have.
have y'all seen the water that's coming out of Lake Texana?
Yeah.
Oh, holy cow.
Whether it be this here.
That ain't gonna happen for a while.
Well, I've heard the San Antonio Bay is going, but you don't know when.
We've got
There's too much water, too much fresh water.
Couple of issues we need to address then is, it's an all or none, sounds like on track 10 for the entire track. Have they indicated they would take the whole thing or
I think they probably will.
that,
If you look, there's one more memo here that we have.
Well, that's for track 9.
Track 9 and 9A.
I'm gonna throw everything sideways here and that I would be willing to do, the 15,000 so that we can lease the whole thing and get it cleaned up rather than going to the 20,000, because they may balk at that. We need to get the whole property tied together and leased. I'm over here thinking that we do like a 5-year lease with an MCI and a 2 or 3 year option.
Could we do a plan A and a plan B?
Sir?
Could we do a plan A and see if they take it? They don't, then do what you're saying?
Yeah.
They've got no place else to go.
I know.
I mean, they're,
Fine, see what happens.
they can be here or they can move to Seagrove. And I don't think they're gonna move to Seagrove. So like I say, you got a tenant which has a need. We have something we need to lease. We've got a price established.
Presentation to Joey.
But mine would be, let's go for the 20 grand, the whole thing, see what they say. If you sense that I ain't gonna do it, then go with Alex's plan for 15,000.
Oh, 15, 16, 17, something in the middle.
I've already kind of thought. Well, so I think he probably, just say, hey, we're not gonna lease whatever it is, bring it, I mean, you're gonna take the whole thing or nothing.
Right.
That's kind of.
We asked them to take the whole thing.
He wanted to go
but
back
it's the
and look,
price.
he told me he wanted to go back and kind of look at, what they've had going on. And of course, they've also, to add to this, they've also, he was kind of asking me about track 9 and 9A. Well, we've already kind of talked about that. You remember, we want to kind of get this deal going between them and cooperative. But I think what needs to happen there is they need to go ahead and get their new entity. They need to get all that set up before we start trying to lease something else.
Well, it sounds like there is definitely interest in more footage.
But I think what it is they just don't want anybody else to have it. They would
Nope.
rather.
It's okay.
It's
a lease.
Good thing. Just don't give away the farm until we know we got to.
I agree.
Well, the other thing is you guys got to remember, you know how much money they spent on their restaurant in San Leon? $6 million. They're a big profitable family company.
I know they are.
On this, I agree with Mike. It's not all or nothing deal. You're looking at,
Yeah.
you're talking about $5,000 for the year.
Yeah.
And the overall scheme of things, we can't just keep giving it away because we're scared of business is gonna leave us.
And
I don't see them leaving.
unless the whole base shuts down for everyone's out of.
Jim, you and Joe, do the best you can and bring us a lease next time we meet. Right?
And we had information about.
I'm sorry, yes, ma'am?
I said, there's information in the packet about track 9, but it's not on the agenda. It's just-
Well, again, that'll be part of you and Jim's discussion. We're trying to get them to the table, lease it.
Well, as soon as, if they do get everything proper, it's up, then we can.
The carrot to me would be allow them the 5 years, because they're always looking for longer term leases. And I think that would maybe get them to the table. All right, move on then to agenda item number 9. Comments from commission.
Well, I know everybody's frustrated about the length of time from the grants, but city staff. For these they're trying, they're really slowly, so it's not their fault. And I think that's when do we meet again, by the way?
Next time.
Could be
Okay.
regular-
Third Tuesday of the month.
Whatever that's the
That's not very long. I'm good.
16th. I think that's the 16th. We did it for Valentine's.
That's right, right before Valentine's. No,
Exactly.
no, it's the 20th.
The 20.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's the 20th.
I said here, Miss Kathleen.
Bad information.
Besides, you got to be on your toes. Gotta be on your toes. I didn't look at my calendar.
Bad in, bad out. February 20th. Miss Sue?
I just wish every citizen in this town could sit and hear how long all this takes, because you hear things like nothing ever happens in Fort Lavaca.
What doesn't?
It does.
But the process that they have to go through in order to do these things, people don't understand.
We're sitting here talking about 2 years, 3 years, 6 years. Yeah.
It's aggravating to everyone, but people don't realize that. It's the general public.
There's nobody staying there on the
Sir,
property across from you. There's nobody staying there overnight.
no,
Okay,
after that, no.
I can't tell either.
They don't have anything down there to stay in now, I don't think.
Yeah, I guess that's really right. They'd have to, well, I see the trucks down there now. I hadn't seen before. And the food truck now has an agreement.
Well, they were moving it this morning.
They have an agreement with coffee shop,
Mhm.
wine shop to provide their food. So where did they, do you see them moving someplace or they got,
I don't know where, but it.
okay, they're moving it.
Out the street, in the street when I left.
Yeah, you're,
I'm gonna. horn
I'm scared
in
of that lady.
I'm gonna horn in on Sue's comments. You brought in the coffee shop. If there's something can be done, Jody, things are real slow at that coffee shop. Shout out a newspaper or something. I hate to lose another business.
yeah, they're really hurting.
Good,
Oh, is that
good
right?
food, good coffee,
Yeah.
but the traffic has really diminished compared to when they were out here on the bypass. We're trying to bring downtown booming Port Lavaca up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Miss Sue.
The VEDC meeting last night, I'm sorry I didn't make it, but thank you for offering. I keep getting these notices, from the Port of Victoria, they're doing stuff over there and I'm just wondering, are we marketing ourselves effectively? Because we have more to offer in a lot of cases than the Port of Victoria does. Because we got a deep water channel a mile away. We have.
And you did read his response, right? I mean, because VEDC.
I did.
Regional partnership is,
did.
you know.
Getting them to
City limits and our.
getting them to come down here and at least look at what we have, realize that we are a port.
Right, but again, as he pointed out, I mean, in that particular project, there's no way would want a methane.
Right.
Within city limits.
You have to realize that the first letter of that project is V,
Yes,
not PL.
yeah. I know.
But if you stay up with all the current trends with marketing and everything, what we're learning is that it's a regional approach is what we need to be doing, which is what we're working towards. Just like the greater Austin area, the greater Houston area, the greater Corpus area, we're not competing in Victoria, we're competing against all these other regional areas. In our little area in Texas, our region, we've kind of been behind the times. And we're just kind of coming up now, getting a regional approach to compete with all the rest of the state.
So that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's a good thing. We just need to tell our story and be connected with.
Because we would much rather something come to Victoria than go to Brownsville or go to Dallas or go to Houston or, wherever it is, it may not come to Port Lavaca, but if it's coming in our region, that's better than going elsewhere.
Yep, thank you.
Well, I would say, again, all the assets are here.
Yeah.
We have a deep water port. We have a landowner who has lots and lots and lots of land. Who would be one of the cooperators Formosa. They have 20,000 acres over there. About half of it is in Jackson County, but the other half's in our county. The Victoria has only a barge canal, which prevents their traffic from going up there, the big traffic. So I mean, the assets are here. I'll be very honest with you. The noise around the EDC it's all talk and no do.
Here you.
I think.
Everywhere.
All right.
Everywhere. They get into play after things kind of start happening. But they don't have any influence. That's just the noise I'm hearing. And that's coming out of Victoria as well as here.
Well, I think that, they've done quite a bit for County this past year.
All those assets that projects are coming have been long planned in place. So, Robert? And we can.
Comments from?
Stuff does take.
We're spinning your wheels.
But no, I just, I think everybody's making good points. I just, if that's what we want, you know, we all want to grow, we all want to, improve Port Lavaca, and we all believe in the assets that we have, then we've got to put together a game plan. You know, we need to have a list of what assets we have, what's being utilized right now, what could be utilized by potential customers out there. I've never seen a business plan, a game plan for us to execute. We talk about it, you know, and everybody kind of knows kind of bits and pieces what we have, but I've never seen a business plan of here's where we are, here's where we want to be, here's our assets, here's our players like on our team, and here's how we're going to execute and utilize those assets. That'd be kind of nice to know.
James.
I'm good. No comment.
Okay. Well, y'all have heard enough from me already, so I'm gonna say I make a motion. Not a motion, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Larry is the first and Sue is the second on that. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? No nays, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for.